My people, imagine a pastor standing tall on the pulpit, claiming his prayers alone lifted governors to power in Rivers, like a spiritual kingmaker pulling strings from heaven while politicians hustle on earth. Is the kind of bold talk that mixes faith with politics, sparking fire. Pastor David Ibiyeomie of Salvation Ministries says his intercessions secured wins for Rivers governors, turning divine favor into electoral victory. But is this humility or hubris in a state already boiling with Godfather dramas? This na confirm street news. Na waiting we hear with the report, but be sure say na confirm. Abeg, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment to help us grow and bring you undiluted news. Today, March 9th, 2026, this claim trends hard on X with clips from Ibiyeomie's sermon going viral. My people, urgency day. When religion enters politics, lines blur and trust shakes. We'll break the pastor's words, trace his history with Rivers leaders, explain church-state rules plainly, and unpack what it means for everyday believers voting with faith and facts. Because attention is pressure, and pressure can force clarity. Please like and subscribe to Confirm Street News for accountability, because when prayers claim power, we must question the source. Here is the breaking update, dated March 9th, 2026, from trending X discussions and sermon clips shared from Salvation Ministries in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Pastor David Ibiyeomie, in a fiery message, claimed, "Every governor that has ruled Rivers State was put there by my prayers."
Wike came a loss in High Court, in the case, loss in Appeal Court, and judgment was already passed in Supreme Court against him, not to be governor. I called him, and he was shaking on phone. I was in Israel. I said, "Don't fear, don't panic. God will step in." He said, "Papa, I believe." It was in PDP, APC was in power. And we were doing 5 nights of glory. After 5 nights of glory, he woke up to me. Judgment was Tuesday, 5 nights of glory was Friday. I looked at him, I said, "Even if judgment is against you, I command it." It was not a money problem. He never had money because it was the opposite party. Judgment was, he too knew judgment was already against him. They told me how the judgment will pass, and then the chief judge collected the case, changed the Supreme Court judges, turned the case. He said, "Papa, I knew this is God." I was the only one invited during his Thanksgiving as a priest. Listen carefully. That was not ended. The second time he came again, you all know it. Second time when he came, he was to lose the election. Already they've arranged how they will lose the election, and somebody walked up to me and said, "You pray for Wike, we'll see how he will win." Asked him any day, I wanted the note he sent to me. He said, "Papa, do I go off?" I said, "Don't go off. God will step in." He was shaken because everything was against him. And I had covenanted with God. I gave millions on behalf of Wike. I didn't tell him. I'm telling you today. I said, "Lord, not for his sake, for my sake." And because the world will say, "Where is the God he served?" I said, "For my sake, step in. Not because of him." And I prayed a prayer. The day they were to change the result to give to one young man called Awara, they finished the result. On the spot, something happened. The High Commissioner stepped into the INEC. They couldn't change the result. That's how I became governor the second time.
I prayed for them, and God answered. He listed past governors, implying his spiritual role in their elections. That alone would have been the headline. But contrast this. In a state with heated politics, from Amaechi-Wike feuds to recent Fubara tensions, this comes amid 2027 buzz. No direct response from governors yet. Wike, now FCT minister, silent. Upcoming, church services continue. Debates rage. Clarification early. Ibiyeomie didn't name specifics beyond every governor, but context points to recent ones like Wike and Fubara, whom he has publicly supported. My people, this isn't legal claim. It's spiritual boast trending with mixed reactions, some hailing man of God, others calling arrogance. Now, let's go chronologically because the sequence matters. Pastor David Ibiyeomie founded Salvation Ministries 1997 in Port Harcourt, grew to mega church with global reach, known for prosperity gospel, miracles claims. Key figures, close ties to Rivers politics. 2015, prayed for Wike's win against Amaechi's candidate. 2019, public support for Wike re-election. 2023, backed Fubara, Wike's successor, with prayers and endorsements. Ibiyeomie often boasts spiritual influence over state affairs. Story builds. Pre-2023, church rallies for candidates. Post-election, Thanksgiving services credit prayers. Public awareness high through viral sermons. March 9, 2026, latest claim in service. Prayers secured wins. Trends amid Rivers crisis. Public reactions balanced. For some, true man of God, prayers work. Faithful cheer divine intervention. For others, politics and pulpit no mix. Arrogance. Critics see vote manipulation hints. Emotional stakes. Congregants inspired. Skeptics disillusioned. Rivers folks recall election violence and question if prayers trump ballots. My people, this humanizes the blend. Faith as power tool in turbulent politics.
So what are the rules and laws at play in plain language? Let's break it down. First, church-state separation. 1999 Constitution Section 10. Nigeria secular, no state religion. Pastors can pray, endorse privately, but using pulpit for partisan politics risks tax-exempt status under comma for NGOs. Second, electoral influence. Electoral Act 2022, Section 92. No undue influence like spiritual threats. Prayers okay, if not coercive. Claims of securing wins could imply manipulation if proven, but words alone no crime. Third, pro bono or claims process. No, this spiritual. If donations tied to political prayers, potential fraud if misrepresented under criminal code. Fourth, public claims ethics. Free speech under Section 39, but defamation if false against governors. Process, probes if complaints, usually media backlash suffices. My people, system for fairness, faith-free but accountability when crosses into public power. No bias, respect beliefs, question overreach. My people, here is the rhyme for the middle of this story. Prayer from pulpit, governors they win. Ibiyeomie claim na God or spin. Rivers boil hot with political sin. Faith and power where it begin. People they watch, some clap, some frown. Divine or design, na the crown. Public divide sharp, supporters hail, anointed one, God uses him, X praises with amens. Critics blast, ego trip, leave politics to voters. Online mockery, memes on prayer votes. Divide deep because Nigeria lived too long with pastor-politician alliances, credibility issues in faith mixing with governance. My people, when prayers claim thrones, skepticism rises. Now let's bring it down to the real-life stakes for everyday Nigerians, especially Rivers residents. A trader in Port Harcourt, voting with hope, once believed prayers help, but fears divine claims overshadow her voice. A youth in Ikwere, seeking jobs, asks if governors owe pastor or people. Wider implication symbolic, blurs church-state line in multi-faith Nigeria. If prayers secure wins, undermines democracy. Governance test, governors accountable to God or voters. System must prove competence. Transparent elections, no spiritual shortcuts. Accountability means competence leads. Faith inspires, not dictates. Should pastors claim credit for political wins or stick to spiritual guidance without boasting? Because that single question is the battle line many are drawing right now. Drop your takes in comments. Faith works or too much? Around Port Harcourt and Rivers communities, residents buzzing, some inspired, others weary. Even market women in Diobu feel ripple. Waiting we vote for if prayer win election. Encourages discussion on fairness, leadership separating church and state. What say you, my people? Divine role or overstep? Sound off below. My people, the gods are wise, but man must walk. Faith aids, but action counts. Subscribe to Confirm Street News. Drop your comment on Ibiyeomie's claim and share this video so accountability doesn't die in silence. We dey here for truth. God bless Nigeria. See you next.